The alarms blared across the Galactic Council chambers as Admiral Kextar's voice crackled through the emergency communication system. His 3 eyes were wide with panic as he stared at the massive shape on his scanner screen. "Council members, we have an unauthorized vessel entering the Vega Prime system," he announced, his voice shaking. "It appears to be human." The chamber fell silent. 12 different alien species stopped their discussions and turned toward the main display screen. The ship that appeared before them was unlike anything they had seen from the humans before. It was enormous, stretching nearly 2 kilometers from front to back with sleek lines and weapon ports that seemed to cover every surface. "How big is that thing?" asked Chancellor Vorth, his scaled hands gripping the armrests of his chair. "3 times larger than our biggest warship," Admiral Kextar replied, "and it's heading straight for us." On the bridge of the USS Liberty, Captain Jake Morrison stood calmly as his crew worked around him. The bridge was clean and efficient, with soft blue lights and quiet humming computers. Jake was a tall man with brown hair and steady blue eyes. He had been in space for 15 years, but this mission was different from all the others. "Captain, we're getting multiple scanner sweeps from alien ships," reported Commander Lisa Harper from her position at the tactical station. She was a small woman with red hair tied back in a tight bun. Her fingers moved quickly over the control panels as she monitored the approaching alien fleets. "Let them scan us," Jake said quietly. "They need to see what we can do." Dr. Alex Turner looked up from his science station. He was a thin man with glasses who always seemed nervous, but his work was the best in the fleet. "Captain, I'm detecting some strange energy readings from the 3rd planet. It looks like weapons testing." "What kind of weapons?" Jake asked. "Big ones, the kind that destroy planets." Jake nodded slowly. This was what they had come to stop. For months, Earth's intelligence services had been intercepting alien communications. The messages spoke of a trial, a decision about whether humans should be allowed to continue exploring space. Some aliens wanted to destroy human colonies before they became too strong. "Sir, we have 12 alien fleets moving toward us," Lisa reported. "They're surrounding us." "How long until they reach us?" 2 hours at current speed." Jake walked to the main viewing screen and looked out at the stars. Somewhere out there, millions of humans lived on colony worlds, not knowing that their lives hung in the balance. The Galactic Council thought humans were dangerous because they expanded too quickly and didn't follow alien rules. But Jake knew the real reason the aliens were afraid. Human technology was advancing faster than anyone expected. Lieutenant Ben Carter approached from the security station. He was a big man with dark skin and a serious expression. "Captain, should we prepare for battle?" "Not yet," Jake replied. "First, we need to see what they're planning." In the council chambers, the debate was getting louder. Ambassador Liara of the Serani stood up, her blue skin glowing softly. The Serani were peaceful people who had always tried to avoid conflict. "We should try to communicate with them first," she said. "Perhaps they come in peace." Chancellor Vorth laughed harshly. "Peace? Look at that ship. It's a weapon designed for war. The humans are showing us their strength." "Maybe that's exactly what they want us to think," said Councillor Zeth of the Mineral Coalition. His rock-like body barely fit in his chair. "Humans are clever. This could be a trick." Admiral Kextar's voice interrupted them again. "Council members, the human ship is broadcasting a message on all frequencies." "Put it through," ordered the council speaker. Jake's voice filled the chamber, calm and confident. "This is Captain Jake Morrison of the Earth vessel USS Liberty. We request permission to approach Vega Prime for diplomatic discussions." The aliens looked at each other in surprise. They had expected threats or demands, not a polite request. "He sounds reasonable," Ambassador Liara said quietly. "It's a trick," Vorth insisted. "Humans are aggressive by nature. We've seen the reports from their expansion into the outer systems." Back on the Liberty, Chief Engineer Maria Rodriguez called from the engine room. She was a strong woman who could fix anything mechanical. "Captain, the engines are running at 60%. We took some damage on the long trip here, but all weapons are working perfectly." "Good," Jake replied. "How long can we maintain this position?" "As long as you need, sir. The reactor is stable. Dr. Turner spoke up again from his station. Captain, I'm picking up more detailed scans of that weapons testing. They're not just building planet destroyers. They're building them specifically to fight human defenses. Jake felt a chill run down his spine. The aliens weren't just afraid of humans, they were actively preparing to wipe them out. Lisa, send a coded message back to Earth. Tell them what we found. Already done, sir. Navigator Sam Collins, a young man with blonde hair, looked up from his charts. Captain, I'm detecting 3 more ships dropping out of hyperspace at the edge of the system. Ours or theirs? Ours, sir. It's Admiral Stone's battle group. Jake smiled for the first time since they had arrived. Admiral Rachel Stone was one of Earth's best military leaders. If she was here, it meant Earth was taking this situation very seriously. In the council chambers, Admiral Kekstar was reporting the new arrivals. 4 human warships now in the system. They're maintaining formation but not approaching. This is clearly a military operation, Forth declared. They're preparing to attack us. Or they're preparing to defend themselves, Ambassador Liara countered. We have surrounded them with 12 fleets. What would you do in their position? The council speaker, an ancient being whose species was one of the oldest in the galaxy, raised his hand for silence. We will send a diplomatic team to the human ship. Ambassador Quill will lead the mission. Ambassador Quill of the Hive Collective nodded. His insect-like appearance often frightened other species, but he was known as an excellent negotiator. I will take a small ship and dock with their vessel. Be careful, the speaker warned. We don't know what these humans are capable of. On the Liberty, Jake watched the small alien ship approach. It was sleek and fast, clearly designed for diplomacy rather than war. They want to talk, Lisa observed. Good, that's what we came here for. Jake turned to his crew. Everyone stay alert. This could go either way. As the alien ship docked with the Liberty, Jake knew that the next few hours would determine the future of humanity in the galaxy. The council thought they were dealing with aggressive invaders, but Jake planned to show them something different. He planned to show them what humans were really capable of when they fought for their freedom and their future. Ambassador Quill's diplomatic ship attached to the Liberty's docking bay with a soft metallic click. The insect-like alien straightened his forearms and checked his translation device one final time. He had negotiated peace between warring species for over 50 years, but he had never dealt with humans before. Remember, Admiral Kekstar's voice came through his communicator. Assess their capabilities and convince them to leave the system. Do not let them reach Vega Prime. Quill nodded to his small team of assistants. Stay alert and record everything. These humans may be more dangerous than we think. In the Liberty's main conference room, Captain Jake Morrison waited with his senior officers. The room was simple but impressive, with a long table made of polished metal and chairs that could adjust to different alien body types. Large viewing screens showed the space around them, displaying the alien fleets that continued to circle their position. Captain, the alien delegation is aboard, announced Lieutenant Ben Carter from his security station. 3 beings, all from different species. Bring them here, Jake ordered. He looked at his officers. Remember, we want to appear strong but not threatening. Let them see that we're reasonable people. The conference room doors opened and Ambassador Quill entered, followed by 2 smaller aliens. Quill was tall and thin, with large multifaceted eyes and mandibles that clicked when he spoke. His translator converted his words into clear English. Captain Morrison, I am Ambassador Quill of the Galactic Council. I come to discuss your presence in this system. Jake stood and extended his hand in the human gesture of greeting. Quill looked at the hand for a moment, then carefully shook it with one of his forearms. Please sit down, Jake said, gesturing to the chairs around the table. Would you like something to drink? We have water, coffee, or tea. The offer surprised Quill. Most military commanders he had met started with threats or demands. Water would be acceptable. Dr. Alex Turner brought glasses of water for the alien visitors. As he did, one of Quill's assistants, a small gray being with large eyes, stared at the room's technology with obvious fascination. Your ship is quite advanced, Quill observed, trying to gather information. The Council's sensors show capabilities we have not seen before. We've learned a lot in the past few years, Jake replied calmly. Humans are good at solving problems when we need to. Yes, we have heard about human adaptability. It is part of why we need to discuss your expansion into this sector. Commander Lisa Harper spoke up from her position beside Jake. What expansion? We were invited to this system by your own communications. Quill's translator made a small noise as it processed her words. Invited? I'm not sure I understand. Dr. Turner placed a small device on the table. This is a recording of transmissions we intercepted 6 months ago. They mention a trial to determine humanity's fate. The device projected holographic images and voices speaking in various alien languages. Quill listened with growing alarm as the translations played through his device. The messages discussed weapons testing, planet-destroying technology, and plans to contain or eliminate human colonies. Where did you get these recordings? Quill demanded, his mandibles clicking rapidly. We have good listeners, Jake said simply. The question is, why didn't the council tell us about this trial directly? Quill's assistant, the gray being with large eyes, whispered something urgently in his ear. Quill's expression grew more troubled. Captain, I must ask you directly. What are your intentions in this system? To prevent a war that nobody wants, Jake answered. And to protect human colonies from weapons that shouldn't exist. Chief Engineer Maria Rodriguez entered the room carrying a tablet computer. Captain, sorry to interrupt, but you need to see this. She placed the tablet on the table, showing detailed scans of the alien weapons facilities on the third planet. The images were clear and devastating. Massive orbital platforms were building weapons designed specifically to penetrate human shield technology. How did you obtain these scans? Quill asked, his voice barely above a whisper. Our sensors are very good, Maria replied. These weapons are designed to destroy planets. That's not defense, Ambassador. That's genocide. Quill stared at the images for a long moment. As a career diplomat, he had always believed in the Council's commitment to peace. But the evidence before him told a different story. I was not aware of the full extent of these programs, he admitted. Navigator Sam Collins spoke from his position near the viewing screens. Captain, we're getting a signal from Admiral Stone. She's requesting permission to enter the inner system. Tell her to maintain position for now, Jake ordered. He turned back to Quill. Ambassador, we didn't come here to fight. We came here to talk. But we won't let our people be slaughtered because some council members are afraid of human progress. Quill's second assistant, a being that looked like a walking tree, made soft rustling sounds that his translator converted to words. The human technology is beyond our projections. Their scanner resolution exceeds our best military systems. Captain Morrison, Quill said slowly, I need to contact the council immediately. This situation is far more complex than I was told. Of course, but while you're talking to them, you should know something else. Jake nodded to Dr. Turner. The scientist brought up another display showing space around Vega Prime. We've detected 3 more human ships approaching this system. They'll arrive in 18 hours. Quill's multifaceted eyes widened. More ships? Admiral Stone brought the USS Freedom, USS Justice, and USS Independence. When they arrive, we'll have 4 of Earth's most advanced warships in your system. Is that a threat? Quill asked carefully. It's a fact, Jake replied. We didn't know how this meeting would go. Earth wanted to make sure we had enough firepower to protect ourselves if necessary. Lieutenant Carter stepped forward. Ambassador, we've also detected movement in your fleets. Several ships are powering up weapons systems. Quill checked his own communicator and saw the reports. Chancellor Vorth had ordered the fleets to prepare for battle, despite the ongoing diplomatic mission. Captain, I need to return to my ship immediately. This situation is spiraling out of control. You're welcome to use our communication systems, Jake offered. They're more secure than anything your fleets are using. The offer surprised Quill again. Most military commanders would never let potential enemies use their communications. But Jake Morrison seemed genuinely interested in preventing conflict. Why are you helping me? Because war helps nobody, Jake said simply. Humans have been fighting each other for thousands of years. We learned that talking is usually better than shooting. Quill made his decision. I will use your systems to contact the council directly. But I want your word that you will not attack while I'm negotiating. You have it, Jake promised. As long as your fleets don't attack us first. As Ambassador Quill prepared to make his critical call to the council, both humans and aliens began to realize that this encounter would change everything. The carefully planned trial of humanity was collapsing into something much more complex and dangerous. In the depths of space, 3 more human warships continued their approach toward Vega Prime. carrying enough firepower to level a planet. The Galactic Council's 12 fleets surrounded the growing human presence, waiting for orders that could start the first interstellar war in 1,000 years. But in the Liberty's conference room, a human captain and an alien ambassador were trying to find a way to prevent that war from ever beginning. Ambassador Quill's emergency transmission to the Galactic Council created chaos in the chambers on Vega Prime. The insect diplomat's multiple eyes reflected the stress as he delivered his report through the Liberty's advanced communication system. Council speaker, "The situation here is not what we were told," Quill said, his mandibles clicking rapidly. "The humans have detailed knowledge of our weapons programs and evidence of the trial proceedings." Chancellor Vorth slammed his scaled fist on his desk. "Impossible. Our communications are completely secure." "Apparently not," Quill replied. "They intercepted our messages 6 months ago. They know about the planet destroyers being built specifically to counter human defenses." In the council chambers, Ambassador Liara of the Serani stood up, her blue skin pale with shock. "Planet destroyers?" "Council speaker, I was told these were defensive measures." The ancient council speaker remained silent for a long moment, his weathered face showing the weight of centuries. Finally, he spoke. "The trial was classified at the highest levels. Only inner council members were supposed to know the full details." On the Liberty's bridge, Dr. Alex Turner monitored the alien communications with growing amazement. "Captain, they're arguing about classification levels and who authorized what. It sounds like most of the council didn't know about the weapons program." Captain Jake Morrison nodded grimly. "A secret trial with secret weapons? That's not justice, that's conspiracy." Commander Lisa Harper looked up from her tactical station. "Sir, we're getting reports from our other ships. Admiral Stone's battle group is detecting massive energy buildup from those weapons platforms. How long until they're operational?" "According to our scans, maybe 12 hours. After that, they could sterilize every human colony in this sector." Jake made a decision that would change everything. "Open a channel to the Galactic Council. All frequencies, maximum power." "Sir, that will let every alien ship in the system hear us," Lisa warned. "Good. It's time for some honesty." The communication went live, and Jake's voice echoed through the council chambers and every alien ship in the system. His words were calm but carried the strength of absolute conviction. "This is Captain Jake Morrison of the USS Liberty, speaking to the Galactic Council and all beings in this system. We came here because we learned about a secret trial to determine humanity's fate. We came in peace, hoping to establish proper diplomatic relations." In the council chambers, the aliens listened in stunned silence as Jake continued. "Instead, we find weapons of mass destruction being built specifically to destroy human worlds. We find a trial being conducted in secret, without giving humanity a chance to defend itself. This is not justice. This is the behavior of people who have already decided to commit genocide." Chancellor Vorth activated his own communicator. "Human Captain, you dare to lecture the Galactic Council? Your species has expanded into 47 star systems in just 50 years. You ignore our established borders and protocols." "Because we were never told about them," Jake replied sharply. "No one ever contacted Earth directly. No one ever explained your rules or offered us a chance to join your community. You watched us from the shadows and judged us without trial." Navigator Sam Collins called out from his station. "Captain, Admiral Stone's ships are entering the inner system. And sir, our long-range sensors are detecting something else." "What is it?" 3 more ships, human design, coming from the direction of Earth. They'll be here in 6 hours." The news sent shockwaves through the alien fleets. 7 human warships would be an unprecedented show of force in council space. Dr. Turner activated his console and began broadcasting detailed sensor data. "Council members, these readings show the true scope of your weapons program. Orbital platforms around your 3rd planet are building weapons capable of cracking planets apart. The energy signatures match theoretical planet killer designs." "Where did you get those theories?" demanded Admiral Kekstar. "We built them ourselves," Turner replied simply. "Then we realized how horrible they were and decided never to use them." "Apparently, you feel differently." Chief Engineer Maria Rodriguez joined the conversation from the engine room. "Council members, we've also detected automated defense systems around those weapons platforms. They're designed to fire on any ship that approaches, including diplomatic vessels." Ambassador Liara spoke up, her voice shaking with emotion. "Council speaker, is this true? Are we building weapons that attack diplomats?" The council speaker's ancient voice carried the weight of his office. The inner council deemed certain precautions necessary given the rapid expansion of human civilization. Precautions? Jake's voice carried disbelief. You built planet killers and called them precautions. Lieutenant Ben Carter's security team had been monitoring alien military communications. Captain, we're intercepting orders for 3 alien battle fleets to move toward our position. They're being told to prepare for combat operations. Admiral Stone, are you monitoring this? Jake called to his superior officer. Admiral Rachel Stone's voice came through clearly from the USS Freedom. Confirmed, Captain. My battle group is taking defensive positions. Liberty, you are cleared to defend yourself by any means necessary. The transmission from the approaching human reinforcements added another shock to the situation. The voice belonged to Admiral John Hayes, Earth's most experienced fleet commander. This is Admiral Hayes aboard the USS Constitution. We are 6 hours out from Vega Prime with a full battle squadron. Captain Morrison, Earth has authorized you to take whatever action necessary to protect human colonies. In the council chambers, panic was setting in among the representatives. Councillor Zeth of the Mineral Coalition spoke with his grinding rock voice. 7 human warships will outgun our entire defense fleet. We must activate the planet killers immediately. No, Ambassador Liara protested. That would be an act of war against an entire species. It's what we should have done years ago, Chancellor Vorth growled. Humans are a plague that spreads too quickly. Better to stop them now while we still can. Jake's voice cut through their argument. Council members, you're talking about murdering billions of innocent people. Human colonies have families, children, farmers, teachers, doctors. They're not soldiers. They're not threats. They're just people trying to build better lives. Your people should have stayed on their homeworld, Vorth replied coldly. Why? Because you say so? Because you made rules we were never told about? Jake's anger was carefully controlled but clearly audible. Every species in your council has colony worlds. Every species has expanded across the galaxy. Only humans are judged for doing the same thing. Dr. Turner broadcast another set of data. Council members, these are detailed scans of human colonies in this sector. As you can see, they're agricultural and research settlements. No military bases, no weapons factories, no threat to anyone. The evidence was overwhelming. The human colonies were peaceful farming communities and scientific research stations. Children played in parks while their parents worked in fields and laboratories. Ambassador Quill, still aboard the Liberty, spoke to the council with newfound conviction. Council Speaker, I have observed these humans closely. They are not the aggressive monsters we were told about. They are intelligent, reasonable people who were never given a chance to prove their peaceful intentions. Peaceful? Vorth laughed harshly. Look at their warships. Look at their weapons. Look at ours, Jake replied. We came here with 4 ships to talk. You surrounded us with 12 fleets and built planet killers. Who exactly is being aggressive? The council speaker raised his hand for silence. When he spoke, his ancient voice carried a decision that would shape the future of both human and alien civilizations. The trial will proceed as planned, but now it will be conducted openly, with full knowledge of all evidence. Both human and council representatives will present their cases before the full assembly. When? Jake asked. In 3 hours. You will be allowed to send a delegation to Vega Prime under diplomatic protection. As the transmission ended, everyone in the system knew that the next 3 hours would determine whether 2 civilizations would find a way to coexist or begin a war that could destroy them both. Admiral Rachel Stone's battle group arrived at the coordinates Captain Jake Morrison had transmitted, their ships moving in perfect formation despite the weeks of travel through hyperspace. The USS Freedom, USS Justice, and USS Independence took positions around the Liberty, creating a defensive diamond pattern that impressed even the watching alien fleets. Jake, good to see you in one piece. Admiral Stone's voice came through the communication system. Rachel was a veteran commander with gray hair and sharp green eyes who had earned her rank through 30 years of exploration and peacekeeping missions. Admiral, glad you made it, Jake replied from the Liberty's bridge. The situation here is more complicated than we expected. I can see that. 12 alien fleets and weapons platforms that could destroy planets. Earth's not going to like this. Dr. Alex Turner was monitoring the alien communications and looked up with concern. Captain Admiral, you need to hear this. The aliens are detecting our new arrivals, and some of them are getting nervous. He played back intercepted messages from the alien fleets. Admiral Kekstar's voice was tight with worry as he reported to the Council. Council Speaker, the human battle formation is unlike anything in our tactical databases. Their ships are coordinating through systems we cannot detect or jam. If this becomes a fight, we may not be able to stop them. Chancellor Vorth's reply was harsh and angry. Then we activate the planet killers immediately. Better to end this before more human ships arrive. Sir, Navigator Sam Collins called out. Admiral Hayes' squadron just dropped out of hyperspace. 3 more ships incoming. Through the viewing screens, everyone could see the massive forms of Earth's newest warships approaching. The USS Constitution, USS Declaration, and USS Valor were the largest ships humanity had ever built, each one carrying enough firepower to level a moon. Admiral John Hayes' voice came through clearly as his ships took position with the growing human fleet. This is Admiral Hayes to all human vessels. Earth Command has given me full authority to protect human interests in this sector. Ambassador Quill, still aboard the Liberty as the diplomatic mission continued. Watch the human coordination with fascination. Captain Morrison, your fleet movements are remarkably precise. How do your ships communicate so effectively? Chief Engineer Maria Rodriguez answered with a slight smile. Quantum entanglement communication networks. Instantaneous contact across any distance. Each of our ships is connected to all the others. Impossible, Quill whispered. Quantum entanglement on that scale would require technology beyond our current understanding. Humans are good at solving impossible problems, Jake said simply. Lieutenant Ben Carter's security team had been working around the clock to monitor alien activities. Captain, we've identified the command structure for those planet killer weapons. They're controlled from a central facility on Vega Prime itself. How heavily defended? Very. But there's something interesting about the design. Carter brought up detailed schematics on the main viewing screen. The weapons use a cascade reaction system. If we could cause a feedback loop in their power supply, they would destroy themselves instead of their targets. Dr. Turner studied the data with growing excitement. Ben's right. Look at this energy flow pattern. One small modification to their central computer system, and the whole network becomes useless. Admiral Stone's voice cut into their discussion. Jake, are you thinking what I think you're thinking? Maybe. If we could disable those weapons without destroying them, it would show the Council that we're not the aggressive monsters they think we are. It would also show them that human technology can overcome their best defenses, Admiral Hayes added. That might make them more willing to negotiate. The plan that emerged over the next hour was both simple and incredibly risky. A small team of humans would infiltrate the weapons control facility on Vega Prime during the diplomatic trial. While the Council was distracted by the formal proceedings, the team would modify the planet killer control systems to make them harmless. I'll lead the team, volunteered Lieutenant Carter. No, Jake said firmly. I need you here. Maria, can you do it? Chief Engineer Rodriguez nodded confidently. Give me 2 technicians and 30 minutes inside their computer core. I can turn their planet killers into the galaxy's most expensive fireworks display. As the human fleet prepared for the infiltration mission, the aliens were dealing with growing panic in their ranks. The arrival of 7 human warships had completely changed the balance of power in the system. Counselor Zeth spoke with his grinding rock voice in the council chambers. Council Speaker, our military advisors say we cannot win a direct confrontation with the human fleet. Their technology exceeds our projections by several generations. Ambassador Liara of the Serani sees the opportunity. Then perhaps we should listen to what they have to say instead of trying to destroy them. Listen to them? Chancellor Vorth snarled. They've brought a fleet capable of conquering our entire sector. This is clearly an invasion force, or a diplomatic mission that came prepared to defend itself, Liara countered. Given that we built planet killer weapons to use against them, can we really blame them for bringing protection? The debate in the council chambers was interrupted by another transmission from Captain Morrison. His voice was calm and professional, but carried an undertone of absolute determination. Council members, we know you're preparing to activate your planet killer weapons. We want you to know that we've analyzed their design and found several critical flaws. We're transmitting detailed technical data to your military commanders right now. The data package that arrived at alien military headquarters was stunning in its completeness. The humans had not only analyzed the planet killer weapons from long-range scans, but had identified 17 different ways to disable or destroy them. Admiral Kextar studied the technical reports with growing amazement and horror. Council Speaker, the humans have found weaknesses in our weapons that our own engineers missed. If they wanted to attack us, they could have done it already. Maybe that's exactly what they want us to think, Vorth insisted. But his voice lacked conviction. Jake's transmission continued. We're sharing this information as a gesture of good faith. We could have used these flaws to destroy your weapons secretly, but we prefer honesty. We want peace between our peoples, not victory through deception. Dr. Turner added his own analysis to the broadcast. Council members, we've also detected several alien ships moving toward human colony worlds. If those ships attack innocent civilians while we're here negotiating, we will consider it an act of war. The warning was delivered calmly, but every alien commander understood the implications. 7 human warships could not be everywhere at once, but the technology they displayed suggested that humanity had many more surprises waiting. Navigator Collins called out from his station. Captain, we're receiving a priority message from Earth. It's being broadcast to all human colonies simultaneously. The message from Earth's president was brief, but powerful. To all human citizens in space and all alien civilizations, Earth stands behind its colonies and its explorers. We seek peace, but we will defend our people with everything we have. The choice of war or peace now rests with the Galactic Council. As the formal trial approached, both sides prepared for a confrontation that would determine the future of galactic civilization. The humans had shown their technological superiority and their commitment to peace. The aliens faced a choice between accepting humanity as equals or risking a war they might not be able to win. But in the weapons control facility on Vega Prime, Maria Rodriguez and her team were preparing to remove the choice of genocide from the table entirely. The planet killers that threatened human colonies would soon become harmless monuments to fear and misunderstanding. The real trial was about to begin. The formal trial began in the Great Assembly Hall of Vega Prime, as representatives from across the galaxy gathered to witness what many believed would be the most important legal proceeding in galactic history. The hall was enormous, with seating for thousands of beings from hundreds of different species. At the center stood a raised platform where speakers would present their cases. Captain Jake Morrison walked into the hall, flanked by Admiral Rachel Stone and Ambassador Quill, who had requested permission to speak for the humans. The sight of humans and aliens working together surprised many of the assembled delegates. The trial of humanity begins, announced the ancient council speaker, his voice echoing through the vast chamber. The charges are unauthorized expansion, violation of established territorial boundaries, and potential threat to galactic peace. Chancellor Vorth rose from his position among the inner council members. His scaled face showed determination as he began the prosecution's case. Council members, humanity has expanded into 47 star systems in just 50 years. No species in galactic history has shown such aggressive territorial expansion. They ignore our borders, refuse to follow established protocols, and demonstrate military technology that threatens the balance of power we have maintained for 1,000 years. Vorth continued. The evidence shows a species that cannot be trusted to coexist peacefully with other civilizations. Murmurs of agreement rippled through parts of the assembly, but many delegates remained silent, waiting to hear the human response. Jake stepped forward to the speaking platform. Council members, everything Chancellor Vorth said is technically true, but it ignores one critical fact. Humanity was never told about your borders, your protocols, or your existence until 6 months ago. His words caused a stir in the assembly. Jake continued, his voice calm but carrying clearly to every corner of the vast hall. For 50 years, humans have been exploring space, believing we were alone. We established colonies on empty worlds, built research stations around uninhabited stars, and pushed the boundaries of human knowledge. Never once did any member of this council attempt to contact us directly. Ambassador Liara of the Serani stood up. Captain Morrison speaks the truth. I have reviewed our contact protocols, and no formal first contact was ever initiated with humanity. Because they were too primitive to understand galactic civilization, Vorth snapped. Their technology was centuries behind our standards. Was, Jake emphasized. Human technology advances quickly when we need it to. We went from simple rockets to faster-than-light travel in less than a century, because we had to. When we learned about this trial and your weapons programs, we advanced even faster. Dr. Alex Turner stepped forward carrying a small device. Council members, this contains detailed scans of every human colony in this sector. As you can see, they are peaceful settlements focused on agriculture, research, and education. No military bases, no weapons factories, no threat to anyone. The holographic displays showed images of human families working in fields, children playing in schools, and scientists conducting experiments in laboratories. The contrast with the military fleets surrounding Vega Prime was stark and obvious. As the trial continued, Chief Engineer Maria Rodriguez and her infiltration team were deep inside the weapons control facility. The alien security systems were sophisticated, but human technology was more advanced than anyone had realized. Maria to Captain Morrison. Her voice came through the quantum communication system. We're inside the central computer core. Beginning modifications now. Understood. How long do you need? Give me 15 minutes. In the assembly hall, Chancellor Vorth was presenting evidence of human military capabilities. Look at their warships, he declared, showing holographic images of the 7 human vessels. Each one carries enough firepower to destroy a planet. How can we trust beings who build such weapons? Admiral Stone requested permission to respond. Council members, our ships are indeed powerful, but consider why we built them. When we learned about your planet-killer weapons, we had 2 choices. Build defenses strong enough to protect our people or surrender to genocide. Those weapons were built for defense, Vorth protested. Defense against what? Stone asked sharply. Peaceful farming colonies? Research stations? Children playing in parks? The question hung in the air as many council members began to look uncomfortable. The images of human colonies made it difficult to justify weapons of mass destruction. Ambassador Quill rose to speak, his forearms gesturing as his translator converted his words. Council members, I have spent days aboard the human ship Liberty. I have observed their behavior, studied their culture, and analyzed their technology. They are not the monsters we were told to fear. They are intelligent, curious beings who value freedom and exploration. Yes, they expand quickly, but they do so to build better lives for their families, not to conquer territory for conquest's sake. Navigator Sam Collins, monitoring the human fleet positions, reported quietly to Jake through his earpiece. Captain, Admiral Hayes' ships are detecting massive energy fluctuations from the weapons platforms. Something's happening. Jake nodded slightly but continued listening as Quill spoke. The humans offered to share technology that could have destroyed our weapons platforms. Instead of using it against us, they gave it to us freely as a gesture of peace. This is not the behavior of aggressors. It's the behavior of beings who understand that true strength comes from cooperation, not domination. Chancellor Vorth was growing desperate as support for his position weakened. They're deceiving you. Their technology proves they're a threat to galactic stability. Our technology proves we're capable of defending ourselves, Jake replied. There's a difference between having the ability to fight and wanting to fight. At that moment, Maria Rodriguez's voice came through the communication system with news that would change everything. Captain, modifications complete. The Planet Killer Network is now completely harmless. All weapons have been reprogrammed to discharge their energy harmlessly into space. Did you destroy them? No, sir. We just made them useless for attacking planets. They could still be converted for peaceful purposes like asteroid mining or deep space construction. Jake smiled and activated the public address system. Council members, while we've been talking, my engineering team has disabled your planet killer weapons. They are no longer capable of destroying planets or killing innocent people. The announcement caused chaos in the assembly hall. Admiral Kekstar was frantically checking his military reports. Confirmed, he announced reluctantly. All planet killer platforms are showing system failures. The weapons are non-functional. How? Vorth demanded. We used the technical flaws we discovered and shared with you earlier, Jake explained. Our people modified your control systems to make the weapons harmless. We could have destroyed them completely, but destruction solves nothing. Now they can be converted for peaceful purposes. This is an act of war, Vorth shouted. No, Ambassador Liara corrected him. This is an act of peace. The humans removed the tools of genocide from our hands and gave us something better, the chance to build instead of destroy. The council speaker raised his ancient hand for silence. When the hall quieted, he spoke with the authority of his centuries of experience. The trial has revealed much about both humanity and ourselves. The humans came here to prevent a war, not to start one. They have shown technological superiority, but also restraint and wisdom. They have proven that strength can be used for protection rather than conquest. It is clear that humanity deserves a place in galactic civilization, not as subjects or prisoners, but as equals and partners. The vote was not even close. 2/3 of the assembly supported full diplomatic recognition of humanity and the establishment of formal first contact protocols. The age of secret trials and hidden weapons was over. 6 months later, Captain Jake Morrison stood on the bridge of the USS Liberty as it patrolled the border between human and alien space. The ship now carried a mixed crew of humans and aliens working together to explore the galaxy and maintain peace. Ambassador Quill had become Earth's first alien diplomatic advisor, helping to establish proper protocols for interspecies contact. The former planet-killer weapons had been converted into construction platforms that were building the first joint human-alien research station. Admiral Rachel Stone commanded the new Galactic Peace Fleet, a joint organization with ships and crews from dozens of species. The mission was simple: prevent conflicts before they started and protect all innocent beings regardless of species. "Captain," Navigator Collins called out, "we're receiving a distress call from a research station in the Beta sector. Unknown aliens are requesting first contact assistance." Jake smiled as he gave the orders that had become routine over the past 6 months. "Set course for Beta sector. And Sam, send a message to the Galactic Council. It looks like we're about to make some new friends." The age of fear and suspicion was ending. In its place, a new era of cooperation and exploration was beginning, led by the species that had once been considered too dangerous to exist. Humanity had not conquered the galaxy through force. They had won it through courage, wisdom, and an unshakable belief that different peoples could work together for the good of all.